In today's video, we're going to be discussing how you can maintain your progress whilst on Ramadan. Obviously, this isn't going to be relevant for everyone on my channel, but it was requested from a couple of members, a couple of commenters, and also it's useful for the clients I have inside the Gorilla Platoon. So this is the protocol we're going to stick and follow to so we can yield the results that we need. I've broken it down into 4 things that we're going to be looking at. We've got your training, nutrition, output, and then life management itself, and then we'll go into an example meal plan to eat. First of all, looking at training then. So when it comes to your training timing, ideally it's going to be done after the first fast, after you have iftar, it will be the perfect time to do it, or maybe just before in that case. The reason why just after is we can eat a meal and then we can train, then we can eat another meal, then we can actually still perform very well. I will say for this, I would actually want you to reduce your overall volume. When we do this for guys on a deload, they'll reduce and just do a top set and a back off set, just 2 sets on absolutely everything. The reason for this is we want to maintain your intensity to give the muscle a reason to stay on your bones, but I don't just want to be burning through our already limited source of glycogen, because if you're in a smaller feeding window, potentially you're eating less anyway. We don't want you then burning through that fuel on repetitions that aren't of the needle moving site to then keep that muscle on the bones. So it's very, very important that we do this. Plus, it will also make the workout shorter. If we work out the timings, you've got iftar where you break the fast. Then between that window, you've also got a proper prayer time as well that you want to be ideally trained and fed again before that. So if we can limit the sessions to 40 minutes or something, it's still effective, still get in needle moving reps, stimulate the muscle, give it a reason to stay on the bones and definitely not deteriorate. And then you get that meal in, then you prep, because I appreciate management is there. And if we just look at management right now, prep is everything, because the focus during Ramadan is not really training, let's be honest. The focus is like the practice that you're going through for that period of time. That's the main effort. Training is just something that we want to make sure we still do, and we still uphold the certain standards, but it's not the actual main progress, but the main thing to focus on, and I don't want it to be either. This is not a guide to say, no, you must focus on your training. No, this is just, these are the tools to supplement so you don't have to. Prep everything, because no doubt you'll have events that will happen. People to see, family members to see, events. If you've prepped, you know what you're eating, you know when you're training, you can then go to those scot-free without a worry. And say map out everything so it's less to think about during this period. I don't want this to be another burden on the fact that you're already like not having any water throughout the day and you're probably still working and doing other things. I don't want this to be another piece of homework you want to do. It wants to be plug and play. I eat these meals at these times, I train at this time, done, dusted. I rinse and repeat that for the whole duration of Ramadan, and that's it, and that's the life management piece. Now, the nutrition is probably one of the biggest ones. The way I'd like you to skin the cat with nutrition is have 3 meals. The first meal that you're going to have, and we'll give an example, in fact, we'll do the meal plan now as we go through this. The first meal you're going to have is going to be at roughly as soon as you're going to break that fast. So I want you to have 506 calories. An example of this would be sourdough bread, 2 slices, 300 calories, jam at 40 grams, 100 calories, banana, 100 calories. The purpose of this is we want something that is high on the GI scale that will digest quickly, so you can eat that and then train pretty much within 15-20 minutes after it. Then your next meal that you're going to have, this is the one after the workout and before the next prayer, wants to be a chicken rice and olive oil meal, and again can be a bit higher in calories and a bit slower digesting. You could also bag a protein shake in the before meal as well. Then the final meal, what I'd say to go for, because I'd say have 3 big meals. This one wants to be even slower in digestion. No carbs, just complete fats and protein. This would be like steak and eggs meal. Now with this, you have 2 options. You could actually have this on the same day after that last prayer, but I appreciate you might be getting up at 3:30 in the morning, and let's say the last prayer is at like 8:30. From there, you know, it might be like late by the time you have this one. You could have this first thing in the morning of the next day. So it could be like break the fast, train, have this, prayer, sleep, wake up before while you're still allowed to eat, and then have this meal and then go into the rest of the day at that. Hydration is going to be key in the sense that have the water bottle with you throughout, because throughout the hours, obviously, that you're allowed to drink water, because you're not for most of the time, and that's actually going to be one of the biggest killers, the fact that you can't hydrate. So have it with you, make sure you're getting plenty down during that window that you're okay. But again, be cautious, because you don't want it to keep you up all night because you're going to the toilet. So that's how I'd skin the nutrition cat. This is an example for an 1800 calorie diet, actually what would work for my client. And this is how I'd approach it. Pre-gym meal, workout, post-gym workout, and then a high fat, high protein meal, either had late that night, and that's you done then until the next time you break the fast, or you have it the next day. With output, we want to be smart about this. So I would actually just say push the steps, because steps are low level, low hanging fruit to do. You can do them during the day. Granted, if you're in a country that's hot and you can't really go outside, I appreciate that. But steps are going to be the easiest route to do. And then baseline cardio of anywhere from 80 to 140 minutes per week. If you're training, I would say maybe just drop down to a 4-day per week training split, so full body pull and full body push, and then it gives you 3 other days where you can also hit your minutes of cardio when you would have normally done your training session anyway. Or if you're doing a 5-day, you've still got 2 days where you can do formal cardio, or you could just stick an extra 20 minutes on the back end of the day. So that's the approach I would take to stay on track and progress throughout Ramadan. Remember, Ramadan, the focus is not really training, but we do need to make sure that we've covered that basis so that you can still make the progress and not lose any of the gains. That's the main thing. I don't want you to lose gains. I don't want you to get put on a lot of weight, because speaking to my client, he said throughout the Ramadan period, you actually put on a lot of weight because you'd fast throughout the day and then eat a lot because you're hungry of like greasy, fatty food. At the end of the day, it's just look at it as like an intermittent fasting, but for longer and a little bit more extreme because you're not allowed water. If anything, you should be in a great position to lose body fat here, because your window to eat is smaller. Therefore, you can only get a certain amount of food in anyway. Make sure you hit your protein target. Make sure you hit your calorie target. Still methods of training, but we're not going to train drastically with high volume because it's going to burn a lot of the fuel. We're going to train with intensity and keep it shorter. We know how to approach the meals. High carbs around the workout. High fat and high protein away from the workout to keep us fuller for longer. And then with output, steps is going to be the main weapon with a little bit of cardio sprinkled in. So that's the approach I would take. For all you guys practicing it, I'll absolutely take my hat off to you. It is like the fact you have the discipline to do this. I really appreciate things like that. It's very, very good to see, like just being like true to your course and who you believe in, and then doing the practices for that. So honestly, every credit to you, and I hope you all make great progress in your training whilst going through this. So good luck, and we'll see you on the other side.